If someone can't look you in the eyes when they talk to you, most people assume they're lying. But that's actually one of the biggest mistakes you can make when reading people. The truth is way more complicated than that, and once you understand what's actually going on behind that averted gaze, you'll never look at a conversation the same way again. Eye contact is one of the most powerful things that happens between two people. It can make someone feel seen, heard, connected. But it can also make someone feel trapped, exposed, or completely overwhelmed. And here's the thing, most of us have been taught to read eye contact in the most surface-level way possible. Someone looks away, they're lying. Someone holds eye contact, they're confident. That's it. That's the whole lesson most people got. But that version of reality is so incomplete, it's almost useless. Today we're going to go deep on this. We're going to break down every real reason someone might avoid eye contact. And I promise by the end of this, you'll be decoding people in a completely different way. So here's the problem. We live in a world where eye contact has become this test. Like if you can't pass the eye contact test, something is wrong with you. You're lying, you're weak, you're hiding something, you're rude. And because of that, a lot of people have started faking eye contact just to seem trustworthy, even when it feels completely unnatural to them. And on the flip side, a lot of people are being misread every single day because they naturally avoid eye contact, and everyone around them is jumping to the wrong conclusions. There's actually research on this. Studies have shown that people who avoid eye contact are almost automatically rated as less honest, less intelligent, and less confident, even when none of that is true. So we've built this whole social system around one behavior, and we're using it to judge people, hire people, date people, trust people. And most of the time, we're getting it wrong. So what's actually going on? Let's get into it. This is the one that surprises people the most. Sometimes when someone looks away from you, it's not about you at all. Their brain is literally just overloaded. Here's what's happening. When you make eye contact with someone, your brain is doing two things at once. It's processing the conversation and it's processing the face in front of you. Faces are incredibly complex. We're hardwired to read faces, so our brains throw a ton of resources at that task automatically. Now combine that with trying to remember something, explain something complicated, or think of the right word, and suddenly it's just too much. So the brain makes a choice. It cuts the eye contact to free up mental resources. There's a real study out of Kyoto University that tested this. They found that when people were asked to do a difficult word task, they naturally looked away more often, and when they looked away, they performed better on the task. Their brain literally needed to stop processing the face to think properly. So next time someone looks away mid-sentence while they're explaining something to you, don't assume they're hiding something. Their brain might just be working at full capacity. That's actually a sign they're taking what they're saying seriously. When something hits close to home, when a topic is painful, embarrassing, or deeply personal, people look away. And this is one of the most misread things in human communication. Think about it. If someone brings up something that hurts, something they're ashamed of, something they haven't fully dealt with yet, making eye contact in that moment is almost unbearable. Eye contact opens you up. It makes you feel exposed, and when you're already vulnerable, you don't want to be that open. This is actually why therapists are sometimes trained to sit slightly to the side of their clients, not directly facing them. Because for some people, direct face-to-face contact during heavy conversations creates too much pressure and they shut down. Sitting at an angle removes some of that intensity and people actually open up more. So if you're talking to someone and they keep looking away, but they're still talking, still engaging, still in the conversation with you, that's not dishonesty. That might be them trusting you with something that's hard for them. The eye contact avoidance is a sign of how real the conversation is, not a sign that they're being fake. Comfort and eye contact go hand in hand. The more comfortable you are with someone, the more natural eye contact becomes. The less comfortable you are, the more it feels like staring. With strangers or people you've just met, eye contact can feel aggressive, intense, almost threatening. This is actually rooted in biology. In the animal kingdom, a direct stare is a challenge. It's a sign of aggression. Humans still carry some of that wiring. So in the early stages of knowing someone, avoiding eye contact isn't rude. It's actually the body's natural way of saying, I'm not a threat. I'm not trying to challenge you. This is why people on first dates often find eye contact awkward. It's not because they're not interested, it's because direct, sustained eye contact between two people who are still figuring each other out is genuinely intense, and the brain reads it as high stakes. As comfort builds over time, eye contact naturally increases. So if someone's been avoiding your gaze, but over time they start holding it more, that's actually a sign they're growing more comfortable with you. That's a really good thing. This one's huge, and it affects more people than most realize. Social anxiety isn't just being a little shy. It's a genuine state where your nervous system treats social interaction like a threat. Your heart rate goes up. You overthink everything. You're hyper-aware of how you're being perceived, and eye contact becomes almost impossible. For someone with social anxiety, holding eye contact feels like being under a microscope. Every second of eye contact feels loaded with judgment. They worry they're holding it too long, or not long enough, or that their expression is wrong, or that the other person can see through them somehow. So they look away to relieve that pressure. And then immediately, they feel embarrassed about looking away. It becomes this loop. Now here's what makes this really important to understand. Someone with social anxiety is often one of the most thoughtful, observant, self-aware people in the room. The anxiety comes from caring deeply about how they come across, not from not caring. So reading them as arrogant, disinterested, or dishonest because of their eye contact is almost the opposite of what's true. This one's important to handle carefully, but it's real. Some people avoid eye contact because of things that happen to them. Eye contact can feel threatening, invasive, or just deeply uncomfortable as a result of certain past experiences. For survivors of certain kinds of abuse, or people who grew up in environments where direct eye contact preceded conflict or aggression, the association between eye contact and danger can be very deeply wired. These people often can't fully explain why eye contact feels so uncomfortable. They just know it does. And again, reading this as dishonesty, rudeness, or weakness is completely missing the picture. So here's the thing that ties all of this together. Eye contact is not a truth detector. It never was. The idea that people avoid eye contact because they're lying, that's mostly a myth. Research on actual lie detection has shown over and over that trained professionals, FBI agents, detectives, psychologists, don't perform significantly better than random chance when trying to spot liars based on body language alone. Because liars can look you dead in the eyes, and honest people can look everywhere but your face. The real power of understanding eye contact isn't in catching liars, it's in understanding what someone needs in a conversation. When you know that a person who looks away might be processing hard or emotionally overwhelmed or socially anxious, you can respond to the actual human in front of you instead of reacting to the surface behavior. That's what separates someone who's good at reading people from someone who just thinks they're good at reading people. The first group updates their interpretation based on context. They look at the whole picture. The second group has a checklist. Looked away equals lying, crossed arms equals defensive, and they never move past it. Context is everything. The same behavior in a job interview versus in a therapy session versus on a first date means completely different things. And the moment you start factoring in who the person is, what the conversation is about, what their baseline is, what the environment feels like, that's when body language reading actually becomes useful. So to wrap it all up, people avoid eye contact for a huge range of reasons. Their brain might be in deep focus mode, the conversation might be hitting something emotionally real. They might not be fully comfortable yet. Social anxiety might be making it hard. Their culture might have shaped a completely different norm. They might actually be listening more, not less. Or they might be carrying something from their past that makes direct gaze genuinely difficult. None of these things are about you. None of these things automatically mean dishonesty. And none of these things mean something is wrong with the person. What this all means is that the next time you're in a conversation and someone isn't meeting your gaze, slow down. Don't jump to the easiest explanation. Instead, look at everything else. What's the topic? What's their energy? What's their baseline? Are they still engaged with you even without the eye contact? Because most of the time, you'll find that the real answer is a lot more human than they must be lying. People are complicated, and the ones who learn to sit with that complexity instead of flattening it into simple rules are the ones who actually understand the people around them. If you want to keep decoding people, leave like, subscribe, and watch the next video.